Hi, welcome to Envision. I'm Deanne Conrad, Community Relations Supervisor, and we're talking student safety with Superintendent Brian Maher. We had a really good start to the school year, and I know, knock on wood or synthetic wood, whatever that is. But in terms of safety, we can't really let our guard down with student safety. We got kids back, and hopefully they're getting into a routine now. But that piece about driving around schools and just even kids walking in groups and numbers, what do you want people to remember about student safety?
Well, first of all, you're right. Everybody I've talked to, I've said this just seems like a really smooth start. In my 5 years, I don't know that we've had a smoother start than what we've had this year, number one. Number two, you think of those things that after a while we take for granted. Getting kids on the bus, getting kids on the right bus,
Yes.
getting them to and from school, having kids walk or bike safely to and from school. And then folks get into a routine and you start looking for kids in the neighborhood, et cetera, but it takes a little while to develop the new habit. What I want people to know is, I think, and probably by the time they see this, they will know this, that kids are back out in force. Cars are back out in force because we have not only kids going to those schools, we have adults driving to our schools to work. So there's just a lot more activity around schools. And so we want to make sure that safety remains our number one priority. And just an awareness of what the start of school brings helps with that safety.
Right, and sometimes you get into that routine, routine is a good thing, but then you become complacent and maybe you're not paying as much attention as you should. So just always, every time you're getting in the car behind the wheel or getting on the bike, and just making sure those reminders are at the forefront of our brains. Also, we have some construction in our community, just general construction.
A little bit?
Well, I know the folks on the east side, 26th Street, are looking for some completion on a project over there. But reminders that those construction pieces and even some construction at our new locations, our new schools, add a little bit of different component to the traffic as well.
You know, it's great news that there's construction going around all over our city. I mean, that truly is great news. It speaks to the economic vibrancy of our community. It speaks to the progressive attitude of the community that we live in. But it also speaks to construction zones and slowing down and the safety issues that those construction zones cause. So when I get frustrated, I try to remind myself, this is the price of progress.
Right.
And that price comes in the form of slowing down. Be cautious of the workers, be cautious of other people having to slow down, and make sure that is a caution zone and doesn't become an unsafe zone.
Right, absolutely. Also wanted to bring up the fact that Governor Noem's conceal and carry law went into effect July 1st, but while that is applicable in many locations on school property, there are still no weapons allowed on school property. Right.
It was determined that was a good thing for our state, and I don't question that. But folks need to know that that hasn't what happened last year and years previous in terms of being a gun-free zone at the schools. That hasn't changed. This law didn't change that.
Right. So safety, again, watch those bus areas, the crosswalks. A reminder that if you are taking advantage of those conceal carry laws, that there is still no weapons allowed on school property, and we just look forward to a continued safe school year during 2019-20.
It's been a great start. Hopefully we can sustain that.
You bet. Our knocking on wood should help.
You bet.
All right. Thanks for joining us today on Envision.